Are you familiar with that situation where you put so much effort into your content, you consult, you sell, but your account still has the same $2,000 or $3,000 and you just can't seem to break through that ceiling, right? So the question always comes up, damn, what's wrong with me? And you know what's most frustrating? There's actually nothing wrong with you. You're absolutely not weak, not lazy, not stupid. It's just that you're stuck at a certain level, one that you can outgrow if you figure out exactly what's holding back your growth. And my name is Maria Gruneva. I've been in marketing for 11 years now, currently living in America, studying and fully implementing American marketing. And I share all of this on my channel. So if systematic growth and a clear strategy matter to you, subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Telegram so you don't miss new episodes and content. That's actually why I'm making these videos, right? Because every day I talk to you, dear experts, marketers, and aspiring entrepreneurs who are stuck at your ceiling of $2,000 or $3,000 a month, regardless of how much experience, how many followers, or how many case studies you have. And this has absolutely nothing to do with luck or connections. These are truly systemic mistakes that are holding you back from growing. There's no structure, no client filtering, no clear funnel, no scaling strategy. But this really can be fixed even without huge budgets and sometimes even on your own. Now let's get down to business and break down these 7 mistakes, at least the ones I've identified that often keep people from breaking through that $3,000 ceiling and what you need to do about it. The first is working on volume, so to speak, without any filters. You take on everyone who comes to you. Because of this, you burn out, your average check is tiny, and you feel like you're just an executor. Just today, I was talking to an expert. She said, she's a Russian expert. I went on Avito. There are so many requests. I just can't keep up. I asked, are any of them actually target clients? She said, well, it's not clear yet. They're just kind of unaware. They want everything at once without any budgets, money, or expenses. So basically, these aren't target clients. And yet the person spends a huge amount of time and money on them, invests more into Avito, but it doesn't lead to any results. And it seems like a ton of work has been done, but the result is 0. So that's a simple everyday example, literally from this morning. So what could be the solution here? It's to introduce a filter like a questionnaire or some kind of voice clarification. Sometimes just the basic script is enough. For example, a single question, when are you planning to start? That one question alone, for instance, immediately filters out 30 people who aren't ready. Or for example, I get a huge flow of completely different people coming to me. And often I have 2 filters. Your role, meaning who are you? Are you an entrepreneur, an expert? Do you work in the CIS market? Do you work in the American market? Do you want to enter it? In other words, your role in the company. And the second is your company's revenue. Because I understand that generally speaking, yes, in America, there is their own classification of companies, and in the CIS and Europe, it's different. And from this, I can tell that based on the company's turnover level, I can roughly understand what the current situation is, including from a marketing perspective. And accordingly, can I somehow help? And what can I offer, right? It may seem like just 2 simple questions, but in my line of work, they are extremely effective at filtering and helping me identify people. The second mistake is the product. It's you. That is, if everything depends on you, you don't grow and there are absolutely no resources. I'll give a similar example from my own experience, okay? So as a marketer, it's the same thing. You could be an artist, a coach, a lawyer, whatever. It's the same, right? At first, you spend your energy attracting these clients and then you get overwhelmed trying to deliver everything, right? And it ends up happening in these waves. So you go out, seem to get some clients. So all the marketing, the whole system becomes completely unnecessary. Now I'm working, fulfilling the orders and everything else is on hold. And it just keeps going in these waves, right? So sometimes you get that feeling like, oh, hooray, I have a new contract. Mine were even big ones at first, but then you realize, damn, now I actually have to do all this. It's crazy. So what's important to understand here, right? The first thing I did was, within the agency, I built a team. So when we sign a contract, I have people and a team who actually carry it out. Of course, I still participate. Sometimes I moderate things, ask questions, observe. But as for sitting down and doing all the hands-on work myself, no, I don't do that anymore. That was basically the first decision I made. Then as a result, I freed up time and had a budget to continue working and moving forward. So now I'm able to focus on new directions, paying attention to them and developing them. Here too, it's important to create a product. But as long as you're at the stage where you yourself are the product, as Robert Kiyosaki says, that's the rat race and it won't get you anywhere. Just think about it. In fact, it seems obvious, but actually starting to move in that direction is not easy at all. So what's the solution? Yes, you need to package your expertise into a clear product that is a system, an approach, a certain method. For example, I've developed a system and now I can share it during my consultations, in guides, in reels, and so on. And again, it's important to understand that this system doesn't have to be, how should I put it, unique in the sense that, well, it will be unique in any case, but it doesn't have to be unique as in you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? That is, it's simply a sequential set of certain actions, frameworks, templates that you need to follow with some intermediate results. And that's what actually gives your approach and your method their unique quality. That's essentially the whole point. The third mistake I often see is the lack of a growth strategy. There's only tactics for the here and now. So you make a post, have a call, launch some stories, but that's not really a system. It's just, well, some kind of chaos. What's the solution? Build a simple funnel, lead magnet, consultation, core offer, upsell. That's ideal. One goal for the month, one focus, one channel. Just like I'm doing now, for example, as I launch this direction. Take my example, those of you who have been with me for a few months, you can see I've built a simple funnel and there's YouTube. From YouTube, I provide valuable content. There are lead magnets you can access, and you also have the option to just join the Telegram channel. Those who need to get in touch directly just reach out to me right away, either for a consultation or they contact the agency with their request. That's for people who already know what they need. The rest move over to Telegram, where there's also a steady stream of specific content, a content plan, materials, and certain calls to action. People move into these chatbots, and there we build an additional, so to speak, funnel, an extra layer of communication. And for those who see, for example, that right now my product is still, let's say, in the development stage, and our product is consultations, including paid consultations, and we communicate, people come in, and each month I get purchases, though only about 5 to 7 paid consultations per month. In addition to that, there are also requests, inquiries, some partnerships, ongoing networking, and so on. This is truly what works and what can easily work for you as well. And it's just, well, it's not some kind of complicated funnel, when they draw all that out and you're like, oh my God, right. It's just a very clear and straightforward connection that delivers results. That's awesome. The fourth mistake I see many experts make is selling help instead of a specific result. Clients, of course, don't pay for support, analysis, or inspiration. So what's the solution? It's to formulate your offer around a specific outcome, not I help with launching, right? But for example, something like, we'll get you to 5 consultations a week through Telegram. That's exactly what I'm offering in my product, which we're preparing right now. It's, well, you can just look at me. I'm a real case in point. But again, I build even more complex systems, in a dozen different companies. And yet the result is the same, right? It's just that experts have their own marketing strategies and funnels. They'll be different from companies that provide logistics services or sell deodorants, for example. So it's the same thing. There's a channel where you showcase your expertise, a simple, straightforward funnel that doesn't require any complicated mechanisms. And accordingly, people move into the channel and request consultations. It's all very simple, as straightforward as it gets. And so at this stage, I actually promise a stream of consultation requests right from the start. Next is the lack of repeat sales. The fifth mistake, you make a sale here and that's it, even though it's your warm audience that can actually double your income. This is already the next stage. But the solution is to implement a return system, follow-ups, additional products, maybe some mini groups. Very often my clients, after the first month, end up signing up for a year-long support package because they've already gone through the process, they understand everything, and now they just need ongoing support. Or, for example, my consulting programs where I build marketing departments, it's the same thing. So yes, there's this program, it lasts for 6 months. And then many clients say, Maria, we want you to stay with us a bit longer. Let's continue working together for some more time. Again, this also increases LTV and is part of working with the client. Here's a clear example from my consulting practice. The sixth mistake I see is creating content for everyone. The topic of content in general is, of course, not a simple one, but we often try to cover everything at once in our feed. The solution is to write for a single target audience, addressing one pain point at one stage. Content should guide people through the funnel, not just exist out there, right? So this is also very important. If you look The topic is marketing, right? But still, we try to focus more on marketing for beginner entrepreneurs, for experts, so that, and we don't talk about complicated matters. I could also be talking in a very complicated way right now, breaking down funnels or discussing technical things. We tried doing that with the team, and the result, well, it just wasn't interesting. There were no views and engagement was minimal. Sometimes people even comment, Maria, can you be more specific there? But no, you actually don't want to watch those specifics. Those who are really interested go further to Telegram, to consultations, and eventually to the product. And there you'll find specifics and more complex things for those who are truly ready to dig deeper. Yes. Again, if I had a channel for, say, bigger things in marketing, like what we do at the agency, I would give you more breakdowns of ad accounts, funnels, training, and so on. But no, I also understand what the audience is interested in, what they watch. And that's not just my opinion, it's simply the results of analysis, the numbers, yes, from YouTube itself, engagement, subscriptions. We analyze all of this and the numbers speak for themselves. And it's important to pay attention to that as well. And seventh, the most interesting one, being afraid to sell yourself. Because of this, people feel ashamed to state their prices, uncomfortable reminding others, and find it hard to set deadlines. So what's the solution? That's to change your focus. You just need to understand that you're not selling yourself. You're offering a certain transformation that someone is willing to pay for. And that really is the most important thing. So even in the agency, when we're talking about large contracts, I don't present myself as just a marketing contractor who is simply there to do the job. No, I present myself as a marketing partner. You come to me because you need help, you need to strengthen your position, you need to develop this area, and I know how to do that. Accordingly, if you need this help, here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will be your partner. I take responsibility. I take on a set of commitments, yes, together with my team, and we deliver results. And when the conversation isn't coming from the position of I want to sell, but from I'm an expert, I know the value, I know my worth, and I'm simply giving it to you, it completely changes the format of the dialogue. And this right here is a major growth point. Earning more doesn't mean doing more. It means thinking differently, changing the structure, eliminating some chaos, and building a clear system where you know exactly where the inquiries are coming from, where sales aren't stressful, and where growth isn't a coincidence, but truly a plan. Thank you for being with me in this video. If you found it helpful, please support me with your likes and comments. And if you still have questions, be sure to write to me. You know that I personally reply to each of you. I read everything. See you in the next videos and talk to you soon. This was Maria Graneva with you.